MC Goldie on the ones and twos. Another day, another build. Let's go, let's go. That's great, man. Thanks for joining. Appreciate that. We're just building out some stuff with Fusion API, see if we can create some stuff similar to Table 5, and then also got Hermes Jarvis being built. And we're going to test GLAN 5.3 versus 3.7 as well. See how it all does. Yeah, I saw they just announced that it's just temporary now. I think it'll be back. It's coming very soon. Can you explain what paperclip and how is it different from Hermes? So Hermes Agent is basically a way of having one agent that can build stuff. But with Paperclip, you've basically got, it's designed for creating a company of AI agents. So you can have them all working together. So if you look at it like Paperclip is great for coordinating multiple types of agents, like Hermes, OpenCore, Claude. Having them work as a team, having them as an org chart so that you can see, okay, who's the CEO, who's the sub-agents, and then also seeing what they've built. Whereas if you look at Hermes is just one individual agent. It's quite difficult to orchestrate them unless you use the Kanban board. And also, even when you do use the Kanban board, you just don't get as much visibility. So those are big differences. Sure. There you go. Makes sense. So how do you use Paperclip? Is it meant to be a mission control operating surface? So it's basically like when you've got a team of agents, let me show you what I mean. I'll show you our agent operating system here. So if we have a look, right, this is Paperclip, this is Hermes. And if you compare them side by side, Paperclip is designed to manage teams. So it's not so much like a mission control service, but it's more like a team of agents working together. So we've got the issues, we've got what's active, we can see what's been done, we have the organization chart, we have the dashboard, the tokens used, and also the builds. Now, if you compare that to Hermes, Hermes is just one individual agent. And so they're very different because Paperclip is designed for coordinating teams of agents, and it's organized very differently in terms of how it looks. Hermes agent is more like an individual agent, and you don't really build teams of them unless you're using the Kanban board, which you can see down here. So those are the big differences between them. Good to see you, Joshua. Thanks for joining. So the agent OS is a combination of everything. So for example, if you look at this, we've got mission control where we can see all our agents in one place. We can also see like token usage and everything, which is super useful too. Then we have Paperclip, which is for organizing teams of agents. From there, we also have a group chat. Now this is really good because you can have your agents debate, come up with ideas. When they come up with something good, that's going to be added to your idea factory where you can create and build amazing stuff. From there, We have our different agents. We've got OpenClaw, we've got Claude, we've got Hermes, etc. And you can have like a live conversation with Hermes agent. You can voice activate it with Jarvis. You've got the studio for images, voices, sessions, workspace. You can see everything that you've built, etc. MCPs. And so for every single agent, you've got a really powerful way of just managing everything in one place, which is great. And then, for example, if something new comes out, you plug it in. So for example, if you look at Kimi K 2.7, just came out recently, we've already plugged it in, built some amazing stuff with it. So it's far more than just agents plus paperclip. And then also we've got Fusion built in. Now Fusion is designed to achieve Fable level intelligence by using multiple models working together and then having a judge work on them. So this is a new API that just dropped yesterday, and you can have like a panel of agents, and on benchmarks they could actually beat Fable 5 on the benchmarks. And then we have like the idea factory here, we have SEO pipeline, we have a video agent, a music agent, game studio, all sorts of cool stuff. So it's far more than that. And also one of the big differences too is like we have the memory built in. So we have a memory galaxy where we can connect all our agents to our memory. And also anytime we do something, it gets stored inside here, as you can see. Yeah, if you check out my tutorials on both of those things, you know, Hermes with the native sub-agent spawn system, yeah, I'll show you some examples. So for example, we got a team of agents to work together and create videos, which was pretty amazing in itself. So if we have a look at this video was fully edited and created. All of it is AI, and that was generated with a team of agents working together with Hermes. So that's how it works. And then for Claude and Ultra Code, you know, for example, we use a team of agents to build out a full website, to come up with ideas, come up with strategies. So anything where you need a full team. Honestly, do we use it that much? No. I think for 99% of people, they're not going to use it. How do you use it? What do you mean? If you want to use an agent operating system, you just use it in the way that I've shown, right? So if you want to talk to it, you've got it over here. If you want to speak to Hermes Jarvis, you got it over here. So I've shown you all the use cases for this, like videos, images, content creation, basically anything that you automate day to day, or anything that you work on day to day, you should be automated. Now, how do you automate it? You can use a system like this. So for example, I was spending a lot of time on SEO, so I created the SEO tool. I was spending a lot of time on it, video, so we created the video agent tool. And so you want to look at, okay, where are you spending your time? And then how can you automate that? And that's very different for people, you know, for every person. But these are all the use cases. And then if you want the full system, if you're wondering, okay, how to use mine, just go to the classroom here inside the AI Profit Boardroom, Agent OS, and you see the video tutorial, the last update date, and we update this daily. And then you see the zip file down there. So everything is there in one place. The ones I just talked about, right? So video agent, teams of agents working together, building our websites. These are all things that we do day to day. Wow. So for this, we actually have a full system over here. If you go to the playbook here, you'll see that we break down the whole process and the SOP in terms of how we do this. And this is the same system my team uses. So you can get that right here. I've never really considered it, honestly, but yeah, if you wanted to build it for other people, yeah, you're absolutely welcome to. Fusion is basically, let me pull this up. So what Fusion means is if you have a panel of agents working together or a panel of different APIs working together and a judge that looks at all the answers and fuses them together into one answer, typically you'll get better results than if you have a frontier model on its own. So for example, if you have Fable 5 on its own versus multiple different agents working together, typically you'll get better results on the benchmarks with multiple agents working together. And so it's a way of achieving Fable 5 level intelligence, but without having to use Fable 5 models. And so you can get better results. And that's basically what it is. It's fusing all the answers together and giving you better intelligence. Thanks, Randall. Good to see you. Is this a guide with the comparisons though? Yeah, you want them combined in one guide, honestly. Yeah, you can. So it can all link. So you can plug in the CLI into the agent operating system and then control it from there. That's what we did when we were switching over from Claude directly to the agent operating system. So, for example, even like everything that we created is all plugged in here, so we can just come back to it whenever we want. It's just inside the existing subscriptions that we have, so we don't need to worry about that. So it depends. If we have the agent operating system, it depends what type, right? So for example, if we have a look here, what I like to do, this is my favorite method these days. Is I will have a Kanban board like this with a team of Hermes agents creating stuff. They're using a combination of hyperframes and 11 labs with HeyGen, and then they can build out beautiful videos like this, right? So if we open this up, we've actually got a system inside the agent operating system where you can basically create the whole video, put it together, edit it beautifully, and then we can have it on one Kanban board here where we have a team of agents working together. So that's my favorite method. Yeah, just by default, we have it as extra on all times. No, like I said, I don't really use Ultra Code that much. This was created with Fusion, by the way, which is pretty wild. This is Opus 4.8. Seems okay, great. And where's the rest of the tests? There's only 2 on there right now, right? Where are the rest? just bear in mind the GLM 5.2, if you're using it on the coding plan, is obviously not free. I think just hit retry when it's ready, as far as I'm aware. I think it's pretty crazy. There's a lot more to the story than we realized, I think, as well. So there's probably stuff going on in the background that we don't know about. But I would expect Fable 5 to be back probably this week, from what I've seen. Thanks for sharing, super interesting and insightful. It's from Suno, so it's my own. That makes sense. It's called Moonlight Drift. But yeah, I made it on Suno. So we got this music agent built in here into the agent OS, and then I can just create, like, you know, drum and bass or whatever I want using this music agent, which is pretty nice. Thanks for sharing, looks great. Good morning. For me personally, I don't really use them unless it's something absolutely massive that I know is pretty good. So for example, like Headroom, that was pretty good and I installed it. But yeah, I would just scan it. And if you can create your own version of it, that's even better. Would recommend just asking Claude to create your own version of it instead with GitHub skills. Yeah, so I have a team. I mean, like, number one for client work, like my team does it, right? But if I wanted to, I would just have separate folders inside separate projects for inside Obsidian, and that way you can keep everything organized. And then you just make sure that your agents can use Obsidian. Thank you. Appreciate it. These diagrams are amazing. Can you update your skill that you include more stuff like this, like the annotated diagrams? And then also update the guide you just created as well, so that you can show more stuff like this, because it looks awesome. Can you not just ask Claude locally to use Obsidian? Isn't that the simple answer? I feel like you're making it too complicated. Just check my previous answer, mate. Okay, now create a full guide on it. Also include some diagrams, see your updated skill, and break down like everything you can do with Hermes as well. Personally, I think automation, but I mean, everything you've listed there kind of falls into similar brackets. But I think, either way, whether you're in those, I'll give you an example. So for me, I'm in like AI automation, but I'm also in web because we do SEO as an agency. So we're in a bit of both, and they're both great places to be. And they they link together naturally as well. I notice when I click inside these, wow. This is crazy. Wow, that's popping off, isn't it? You got the guide? Thanks so much. I really appreciate it. It's people like you who got me here, so I really appreciate that. Thank you. So, 3 things: backlinks, keywords, content. You want to master all 3. We actually have a free course. Over here, and it's got like 260 SEO lessons inside there, just showing you exactly how to do this stuff. But yeah, 3 things: keywords, content, backlinks. inside this guide, there should be like screenshots with a link to everything that you can do inside the system with Hermes Jarvis. There we go. Big tune. Yeah, how Hermes can work with Claude Code. Well, the best way to do that is to have an operating system like this, where Hermes and Claude can work together. So for example, they can work together in the same team of AI agents inside Paperclip like this. They can also work together inside the agent group chat that we have that allows us to talk between our agents. And that way we can get our agents to like critique and review each other's ideas and everything else. So those are two different ways. On top of that, you can also have a memory system, as you can see right here, where your agents can write new memories inside there, but also pull new memories out for context, which is great. And then you can also, for example, have Hermes being operated by Claude, right? So Claude can control Hermes. So those are 4 different ways. So I mean, for Claude code, use Claude, right? But for Hermes, my personal favorites from everything I've seen so far, probably Grok or Minimax. But also, if you want to test some interesting stuff, I would test GLM 5.2 or Kimi K2.7. Those are good options as well. Exactly. That's it. Yeah, just compact the conversation. 100%. Like, you want everything in one place. Already done it. Got a full tutorial on that out there already. But bear in mind, like Hermes, all you can do with Hermes desktop is manage Hermes, right? Whereas with an Agent OS system, you can manage all your agents in one place and coordinate teams of them. So it's way more powerful to have an agent operating system than it is to just have Hermes desktop. And bear in mind, Hermes desktop is just limited to what Hermes put out there, whereas an agent operating system, you actually build yourself. So it's a huge difference. So today we're going to be looking at how to build your own agent operating system and some of the best questions I've had about it recently, because I know if those people have questions about this, it's going to help you too, because you probably have similar questions about how to create an amazing agent operating system where your teams of agents can work together, building amazing stuff and just creating awesome stuff. I mean, for example, some amazing things that we've built out recently, like for example, what we actually found was that when Fable 5 got taken down, Fusion just came out, right? And Fusion is a new way to have like a team of agents working together that can build something better on benchmarks than Fable 5. And I've actually tested this out versus Opus 5, and from what I've seen, it actually outperforms Opus 4.8 by a long way. And so this is really interesting. And what we're going to do today is just answer some of the best questions we have about this stuff, how it works, etc., how to set up Obsidian properly, how to get your Hermes agents working with Claude, how to build the best agent operating system possible. So let's get straight into the questions. So one of the first questions we had from Omar is it possible for an AI system to take ownership of a single long-term task over an extended period? So for example, like 6 months. Like, how could you assign it the task of improving a website's SEO performance? So, are there any tools or platforms designed for this type of long running autonomous workflow? So, one thing that we have inside our agents is we have the power to build out scheduled tasks. So, for example, if you wanted to give Hermes agent the responsibility of organizing and doing something every week for your SEO website, then what you can do is just create a task here, or you can actually go direct to the chat and ask Hermes agent or whichever agent you use to do this for you. And then you can manage everything in one place if you just go to the cron job section inside manage here. And you can do the same with OpenClaw or any other agent. So how does this work step by step? So you would assign a scheduled task to your agents. Now, I would recommend that you either use Claude or Hermes for this, for SEO optimization. You would tell it the workflow and tell it every time you do this workflow, you improve it and you look at what's working and what's not working, and you iterate based on that and you update your workflow. And then also run it on a daily schedule. So, for example, it could be daily optimization of meta tags, it could be uploading one new blog per day. And that's how you can give your agents responsibility for one task because it's running on a scheduled system. And then also you've got the manage section here with scheduled tasks, so you can easily see or delete any stuff that you need. And to assign a task, you just go to the chat with your agent and assign it directly there. So Andre has a question here, which is Hermes is failing to use Claude Code for coding work consistently. So when it actually comes to coding work, I typically prefer to use Claude Code in the first place. So for example, actually like building out the agent operating system on the back end, we'll use Claude Desktop because it just tends to do coding workflows better. Whereas Hermes is great for just doing little tasks or scheduled tasks or recurring tasks. Now, I'd also question which model you're plugging into that too. So there's two aspects to this. Number one, I would actually use Claude for coding work instead of Hermes, simply because Hermes is great for scheduled tasks or admin tasks or smaller tasks. But for coding, I tend to find I get better results with Claude. So when I'm building out my agent operating system, we actually use Claude Desktop on the back end. And then when it comes to following instructions and skills properly, I'd also look at which API you've plugged into Hermes. And if it's not doing what you want, I would look at using something else instead. So, for example, you could switch to Minimax M3, you could switch to Grok, etc. Quite often, if Hermes is not working that well, it can be down to the brain that's plugged into the agent as well. So Carl was posted about his current build for his marketing agency. Basically, he's got a current setup with he's got like Jarvis as a dispatcher, sub agents are created from there with a team of advisors and specialists, and he's got a knowledge base with Obsidian now too. But the hard part he's saying is not can AI do the task, it's pretty good at that. But the problem is getting reliable handoffs, clean source rules, and enough QA on it as well. So how can you build better systems around quality control, basically? So this is actually something that we've been testing out lately to get better results, and it's working really nicely. So if we go over to the Kanban board here, I typically in big tasks, like let's say, for example, you're trying to create a fully edited video with AI and just, having minimal input, but also making sure that everything that you do is set up nicely together. What we actually do is we have a judge on the team. And so, for example, we created this separate profile. It's called Video Judge for videos. And it looks at the video, sees if it's actually good or not. And if it's not good enough, then it will ask the team to keep iterating until it finally is. So you can see here, it actually scores the team on their output and the quality. And it actually outlines the critical issues and everything else. So the way that I've been approaching this is building out a team of agents for quality control. So you would have, for example, if you have a video team of agents creating videos, then you would have one agent that's a judge and scores the team on the quality of their work. And if it's not good enough, they keep iterating until it is good enough. And that way you have a separate agent that's only job is to critique, review, and quality control your team of agents' work. And with Hermes, this can work really well inside the Kanban board too. So you can assign a task inside a Kanban board. It automatically gets delegated to sub agents. And one of those agents should always be a judge who scores the work and tells the team to keep improving until the work is the quality that you need. And in the end, this looked really nice. If we have a look at the final video here, which we can preview inside a Hermes workspace. So this was the finished product, fully edited, looks really nice, nicely edited, and probably better than what my team can actually do. So the quality of this was just amazing. Once it finished, it looks great. It had music in the background as well. And again, like I didn't touch it. It was just my team working together with a single prompt that I gave them. This is quite an interesting one. So this is from John. And basically what he's done is he's set up like twin agents every time a task is completed inside his agent operating system. And basically what he's doing here is he has for every task a free agent and a paid agent. And then he compares the difference in quality between them so he can see whether the paid agent is actually good or not. Right? And that's a really interesting way of using AI that I've never seen before, but it helps you compare everything and just get a benchmark for everything that you're doing versus free models. So I absolutely love that idea. That's a great example of what people are sharing inside the AI Profit Boardroom in terms of like, how can you check what your agents are doing? How can you check the quality of them? How can you reduce the cost of everything you're doing as well? So this is a good question from James. James is saying he's got an open clause setup with a principal agent and 25 registered agents with their own workspace, skills, departments, etc. And he's wondering if there's a better way to manage your agents with proper delegation. So, for example, could you have a Kanban board in a control panel? Could you move to Hermes? Should you use paperclip, etc.? So, also, should you add more knowledge with Obsidian to avoid duplication and add better context to your agents? These are great questions. So, here's the way that I would look at it. If you want teams of agents, I don't think OpenClaw is particularly good at that. Simply because it's not really designed for that. It's designed for just having one OpenClaw instance and working together. I do think that Hermes is really optimized for teams of agents because they've created a whole Kanban board and it's kind of native to the Hermes setup. So if you want to control your agents and organize them, and you're only sticking to one agent, Hermes is great for this because you have the Kanban board natively, and you don't really get that with OpenClaw. Now, I'm sure there are, I have seen alternatives, but they're just not that smooth when it comes to using OpenClaw inside a Kanban board. Whereas Hermes is native to this. This is what it's designed for. It's designed for teams of agents, teams of profiles that can all work together on a task. As you can see right here, when we're creating all sorts of different tasks between our agents. And we can have multiple Kanban boards as well for separate projects to keep everything separated too. Now, when it comes to Paperclip, Paperclip is great if you need multiple teams of multiple agents. So I would recommend Paperclip if, for example, you need different types of agents working together. So if you have OpenClaw and then Claude and then Hermes and you want them all inside one team, that's where you would use Paperclip instead. And bear in mind, Paperclip is designed for really creating like a company, a team of agents, whereas a Kanban board is not really company focused. It doesn't have an org chart. It doesn't have a list of issues, etc. And also, Paperclip is a lot more visual when you use it. Bear in mind as well, if you're switching from OpenClaw to Hermes, they actually have a migrate option as well on the onboarding, which should probably help you. Now, the final one, should you add a memory to your agents? I would say this absolutely improves everything that you do. Because when you have a memory and when you have context for your agents, not only do these teams of agents, for example, with Hermes Kanban boards work better, but also they can automatically update your second brain so that anything else you do in the future is all linked together as well, but you're not updating it. You're not manually improving it yourself. So, for example, everything that we've done here, like even 18 minutes ago, we've got the full daily briefing conversation between myself and Jarvis. I didn't create that. My agents created that. And so when it's automatically updated like this, it's super powerful because everything is easy to link together. And also you're building something. You're building a system that you can come back to over and over again. So I definitely recommend using Obsidian with your agents too. It's great for context. You can get your agents to organize and update it for you so you don't have to spend any time organizing it. And also it just helps you visualize everything much better and link everything better together. And the more you use it every day, it improves and gets better and better as a system. So definitely recommend that. Great questions from James there. This is a good question from Jason, who was asking, if you want the infinite context engine, if you don't know what that is, don't worry, I'll explain in a second. How do you use that on Windows? So if you're not sure what the infinite context engine is, this is a system where I have Omi basically records my screen, it records my microphone. You don't have to do that, but this is just what makes it easier for me. And then I export those notes daily to Obsidian. So we were talking about our agents updating our context daily. So this can take notes on me all day. And then what it can do is it can plug that into our Obsidian memory vault, right? It syncs automatically. So then if we go to Obsidian, Obsidian is updated daily inside our knowledge graph, and that plugs into all our AI agents. And so it's a really powerful way to get a lot of good context and good memories for your AI agents. Now, if you're on Windows, the only way that I know, the only way that I know to use Omi on Windows is if you have a wearable, because it doesn't seem to work natively with Windows. You could have it on your phone instead. There's also this that I've set up previously, and this kind of does a similar thing to Omi. It's an open source project. You can see it's got 20,000 stars on GitHub, and that's a pretty interesting project as well. So that's something else I would look at. And it does work on Windows. So you can see here that it's designed for Windows too. We actually have a full training on how to use it. And again, you could take the context from that and then plug it into Obsidian instead. That might be a better option. Now, this is pretty interesting as well. So, Benjamin was sharing a voice agent that is created inside his agent operating system. And this is kind of a take on our Hermes Jarvis, which you can see over here. So, we can voice activate our AI agents, speak to them with a chat, and then we can see the whole conversation history here, plus everything that's built inside our agent operating system, too. And that's pretty amazing when you think about it. Now, Benjamin has built out the Logos Oracle. And so you can speak to any philosopher that you want, right? It's trained on philosophy, which is pretty amazing itself. So you can see here, like, it's not just for me, like anyone who's even non-technical can build with this stuff and you can get really creative. That's one of the best things about using, for example, an agent operating system instead of using like Hermes desktop or these other apps. The reason for this is like when you do this, it's really powerful because you can customize it exactly how you want it. And that doesn't have to be for business, right? It could be for personal, as you can see with Benjamin here. So it's a fantastic example of what you can do and how you can customize things exactly how you want it. So love the idea, love the creativity, super impressive. So that's basically it for all the questions. We've answered everything and all the questions I've had recently about using agent operating systems inside the mission control. If you want this whole setup, by the way, you can get it from the AI Profit Boarding link in the comments description, or go to the AIprofitboarding.com. You get the mission control, you get the paperclip setup, you get the AI agent mastermind where agents can actually talk together, and you can see all the chat history too. You got Claude inside there, Hermes working, you got Hermes Jarvis, the studio. You have the Kanban board system, as you can see. We've even plugged in Fusion, which is like basically Fable 5 level intelligence, but you don't have to wait for Fable 5 to come back out, right? You get something even more powerful. So this is something super interesting that we've been building out and testing, and it's creating amazing stuff, as you can see. We also have GLM 5.2 plugged in there, Kimi code, and the great thing about this is as well, we've plugged the memory into the here as well. So you can use Obsidian with your AI agents too. So if you want to get that, that's all inside the AI Profit Warning. Link in the comments description, or go to AIprofitwarning.com. This is my AI automation community that helps you scale, learn, and save time with AI automation. We've already helped 3,600 business owners who are active inside there. We've got over 182 pages of wins and testimonials from active community members. So I know, like, if we can all get results, you can get results too. And it's just an amazing community where we learn and we grow together. And I really care about the results of everyone inside there. That's why I answered these questions personally every day. Now, inside the community, you can ask questions. There's always people online, which means you can get help and support. I personally answer these questions too. Inside the classroom, you can get access to all of my best trainings and guides, including the agent operating system, which you can see here. And we update this daily. You get a video tutorial, plus you get the installation zip file, so you can just quickly install that. And then we add new daily trainings based on what's actually useful, and I test all this stuff personally. Inside the calendar, you can jump on weekly coaching calls, get help and support in real time. And inside the map, you can actually meet people in your local area who are using AI agents just like you. So it's a fantastic way to just meet cool people, make lots of friends, and also meet people who are doing similar things to you, right? So feel free to get that link in the comments description, or go to the AIprofitboarding.com. Thanks for watching. Let's see what questions we got here. Claude, Code, or Codex? Codex every time, mate. No, sorry. Claude every time. Claude every time. Just to finalize that. What else we got here? You're the best AI dude yet. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate that. Greg, what skills, plugins, hooks should be used to help build Claude Agent OS? I built everything personally. And we honestly don't use many skills, but we keep the same conversations. When it comes to plugins and hooks, don't really worry about that too much. I just keep conversations with context here. And then if I need to, I can fork them to create like a variation of that conversation just to keep going. But yeah, it's amazing. Like, you don't need many skills or plugins to do this stuff. That's up to you. The thing that I would say with this is, like, only do what you're comfortable with. So if you're not sure or you're not comfortable doing something, don't do it. Don't link it together. Is that harness currently how it's set up? Yes. So I personally don't do client meetings, so they wouldn't be integrated into Obsidian. But yes, you could. For example, you could use Fathom or something like that for notes. Already answered that question. How to start web design with AI? Just go straight into it. Nothing's stopping you opening up Claude and doing it right now, right? What are the advantages and disadvantages? I mean, like, Claude is not that good at UI, so that's a big disadvantage. But at the same time, you can create amazing stuff. So, as an example of that, if we open up 4 different websites that were built with AI SEO using the agent operating system, and we've got a full SEO workflow section inside there, you can see the results of these websites, right? So the AIprofitboarding.com, this, I've never logged into this website. I actually can't. It's hosted on Netlify, right? So it's all coded out with AI. And so we can get Claude to just build out amazing websites, actually rank on Google, and super easy to set up. And then you save the whole workflow as a skill. So we have a skill for coming up with keyword research. We have a skill for creating the content itself, etc. Same for this website, this one, this one. So yeah, I would just get started with SAP. I don't know. I genuinely do not know, sadly. What are the best AI to use except Claude and free? Um, so I think probably one of the best ones I've seen recently is N2 on OpenRouter. You can get a free API for it. We've already plugged it into free Claude Code. So we can use N2 with free Claude Code here, plug in the API, and then we can create like apps and stuff for free using the Claude Code harness, which is pretty amazing. And bear in mind, N2 is designed for agentic tasks. But yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, of course. If you want to do good stuff, like I don't know anyone productive on an iPad, for example. And usually the people I see like working on a phone and stuff like they're just super slow. No, I would say Codex is better than anti-gravity. No, just self-taught, fully self-taught. So if you want to learn, for example, about Claude, I mean, there's so many things you can learn about it. So I would just type in Claude code there and I would search for what you're interested in. So for example, let's say I want to learn about Claude skills. Well, I can type in Claude skills here and then just check the lessons on that. So that's the way that I like to filter it, is like figure out what your use case is and then from there research it and you can easily find training on anything. For the agent operating system, you go to the AI Profit Boardroom, then you go to the classroom, new daily updates, and it's right there. Right? And we also have it pinned at the top of the community, as you can see right here. So as soon as you go in the community, you can see the Agent OS link. And then we also have it inside the Start Here section. So we try and put it in every place possible to make it as easy as possible to find it. I don't use either personally, but I think probably for me personally, I'd pick the terminal. What's up? Thanks for joining. Good to see you here. Thanks for joining. If you can't use Fable 5, here's exactly what to use instead, and it's actually better. I'm going to show you some side by side comparisons of exactly how this works. And let me just tell you what happened this week because it's wild and it changes how you should think about your whole business. So, on June the 9th, Anthropic released a model called Fable 5, the most powerful AI model that ever put out to the public. 3 days later, just literally 3 days, the US government ordered them to pull it. So worldwide, it was gone for everybody. So if you went to use Fable 5 today, for example, you hit a wall, it's not there anymore. The best model on the market just vanished in 72 hours for reasons that had nothing to do with you. Now, here's the part that actually matters. You can still reach that same level of intelligence today without Fable 5, and you can do it for about half the price. So there's a new model. It's called Fusion 5. And for about half the price, this can help you achieve Fable 5 level stuff. Now, this just came out from Open Retail, and the timing on this is almost too perfect because Fusion proves the exact lesson the Fable 5 takedown just taught everyone the hard way. And I'm going to walk you through what got pulled, why it matters to you, even if you've never used Fable 5, and exactly how Fusion gets you that power back. So stick with me because the takeaway here will change how you set up your AI for good. And first, let's talk about the facts. So Claude Fable 5 launched on June the 9th, 2026. Anthropic ordered the most capable model they'd ever released to the public. Had 1 million token context, strongest coding and research model out there. Then on June the 12th, that gets taken down. They cut off access to Mythos 5 and also to Fable 5. And so Fusion actually helps us achieve Fable level performance on deep research tasks better than state of the art performance using panels. And it works by having a set of models working together. Then the judge fuses the answer, and then you get one answer. And you have like multiple models working in parallel. So instead of leaning on one model, Fusion takes a panel of top models, usually 3 to 5 of them, and asks them all your question at the same time. So, for example, in these tests, what we actually did is we used a combination of Opus, Gemini, Claude, Grok Build, and Gemini 3.5 Flash. So these are the agents on the panel. And so if we have a look over here, we've got side by side comparisons of Opus 4.8 versus our panel of just Opus 4. Of agents, right? So we've got the Fusion over here, and we have Claude Opus 4.8. So which one performed the best? Well, let's open this up first of all. We can check this out side by side. So this is the option from Claude 4.8. Now, one of the things I want to say is when you actually use this, it's super buggy. And what I mean by that is I literally can't move backwards. Like I can't do anything. Which is pretty interesting. I mean, it looks super nice, but it's pretty hard to navigate here. Let's try the other one. So this is the example that we got from the Fusion model. Number one, it's much easier to move around and navigate. Number two, you got more details like the birds flying here. You have the reflection even of the glaciers on the lake, and you can move around and do stuff, right? So overall, this is a much nicer version of the original. I actually prefer the colors in the original, but I would say just in terms of navigating it without it being so buggy, I would say the Fusion won that. It'd be interesting to know what people thought as well. Next up, we have a Minecraft style voxel world. So we've got Fusion over here and we have Opus 4.8 over here. Let's try this out. So this is from Claude and it says WASD move. I literally can't move, right? And the buttons don't actually work, which is kind of annoying. The only one that works is escape, if I press escape. So it's super buggy, as you can see. You can't, oh, you can move around now, but you see how that wasn't working for the first 2 minutes? It's pretty cool though. I mean, that is good. Like Opus 4.8 on its own, still the best model out there, of course. It is a little bit buggy. Like for example, this. Now let's try out the other version. So this is the one from Fusion Panel, right? So it works straight out of the box. Seems a bit cleaner, less buggy when we actually use it. And you can see here that we can easily navigate it. Now, which one looks better? For sure, it's Fusion, right? So if we look, this is Claude 4.8. You see how the ground is not properly detailed here? And it doesn't seem as vast and wide. Now look at this one from Fusion, right? Look how vast and wide that landscape is. Look at the detail here. It's much easier to navigate. And so for sure, Fusion wins on that one too. Now let's have a look at another one. So this was kind of like a, an RPG. We said like build an isometric RPG, and with two different worlds. So this is Opus 4.8. And this is Fusion. Bear in mind, these are both in one prompt, which is actually amazing when you think about it. So this is the version from Opus 4.8. Let's just have a look and just navigate over here. So you can see it's kind of walking through tables. There's a person over there. There's not much detail in the graphics, but I mean, for a one take on a model, Opus 4.8 is still good, right? Like that's pretty impressive in itself. It's not like amazing graphics, but it's still good. Now let's have a look at this one. Now you can already zoom in and out, which is pretty cool. So this is from Fusion. So we can change the camera angle pretty quickly. And there's a lot more detail. And it just feels smoother. There's something about it. Right? And so again, like Fusion has done a better job overall. And it's pretty amazing in terms of this is just a one take. So what actually happens here is that you only really get one chance with the Fusion models. Like you get all the answers, it takes about 5 minutes, and then you get the answers back and you fuse them together. Then we created a city block simulator. So this is Opus 4.8. This is Fusion. Now, if we have a look over here, let's just see. What the detail is like here. It's a little bit buggy in terms of navigating it. But it's pretty cool still. Just kind of hard to see the right camera angle. You can see here it's a little bit buggy. But not bad, not bad. Now let's have a look at this one. So this is from Fusion. I would say there's not a massive difference here, but it is easier to navigate and see things and switch to the right angles. Whereas with this one, you can't. And also you see the pedestrians here, you can't really see them properly. Whereas on this one, you can. You can see like the actual people and stuff. Both pretty amazing, but I would say this one just feels smoother to navigate. It's just like those little details on each. And then we have an explorable Hogwarts castle. So let's have a look at these. So this is the first one. This is from Opus 4.8. Not bad at all. A little bit dark, but it's okay. Kind of weird how you can go through the houses and stuff, but you can easily like fly upwards and downwards, which is cool. Now this is the one from Fusion. Honestly, it seems there's not a big difference between them. This one's a little bit darker, but I wouldn't say there's a big difference here. They're both pretty good. Or, they're both at the same level anyway. So overall, It's pretty close, but I would say that still Fusion wins on all of the tests there, particularly the Minecraft one, the RPG one, and then also the Glacial Valley as well. Like this one is way nicer to use, which is impressive. So how does this work? How does this Fusion panel work together? So basically, what happens here is that Fusion takes a panel of top models, usually like 3 to 5, asks them all the same question at the same time, and then you've got like Claude and Gemini coming in with answers. So they each answer together. Now, every one of them has live web search on, so the answers are all fresh. And then a sixth model, a judge, reads all the answers. So it sees where they agree, where they disagree, where one caught something the others missed, and it writes one final clean answer out of all of it. So you want to think of it like asking 5 smart friends the same question and then having a sharp sick friend listen to everyone and give you the real answer. That's fusion. And here's the proof that it actually works. So Open Router tested Fusion on 100 hard research tasks, pretty deep stuff, not like quiz questions. And Fusion's top panel scored higher than Fable 5, the banned model, the best one, right, for about half the cost. Also beat GPT 5.5 and Claude Opus 4.8 on those same tasks. Even the cheap budget version of Fusion tested about even with Fable 5, which is pretty amazing itself. So, if you think about that, the model you can't access anymore, or a team of cheaper models working together matches it and actually beats it. And those models aren't going anywhere, right? Now, the CEO of OpenRouter said it in plain English, right? Fable level intelligence, Fable level performance on deep research at half the cost. And then he said the future of AI is many models working together, not one model taking over. Now, let me pause here for a second because this connects directly to something I've built inside the AI profit board. I've already wired Fusion into this system with the outputs and the tests that we've done over here, as you can see. And so the dashboard where you can plug all your agents into one place, Claude, OpenClaw, Hermes, all of it with one screen, one shared memory. And the whole reason I built this is so that, if something changes, like let's say, for example, you can't use a model like Fable 5 anymore, you don't just scramble, you just lean on the others. And Fusion's now a section in there with research and fact check workflows. And we've got over 3,600 business owners inside the air profit warning right now, building with this sort of stuff. So agencies, freelancers, e-com guys, plenty who've never touched AI before they joined. You also get 4 coaching calls a week where we set this up with you live. So when you want a setup that doesn't break the next time the best model vanishes, that's where to start. Link in the comments description or go to the aiprofitwarning.com to get the agent operating system with Fusion built in. So let's talk about the use cases for this. So number one is like if a model gets pulled or you want smarter answers, of course you would use Fusion, right? It's a great way to use it. Now, we'll say the answers are slow, so you're not going to use this on like quick stuff. But if you want something that's quite deep or a big report or that sort of thing, then you would go with that. I mean, imagine, for example, if you're running your whole business on Fable 5 and then it just gets pulled, that's a big problem because your content, your research, everything will be wired to a model that's gone and you work with stock. Whereas Fusion can route that with one model to multiple models and then you get the best, right? It doesn't matter what happens. Now, also, the second use case here is research. So every model in the panel searches the web live, and the judge cross checks the answers against each other. So instead of one model maybe making something up, you get answers that have been checked. For anyone doing market research before they publish, that's pretty big. And also, what's really good for this is fact checking, right? Fusion can tell you when the models agree and when they don't. So if they all agree, you're probably okay. If they're split, it's a bit shaky and you need to dig deeper. So that's like a really senior second opinion on powerful research tasks. Now, you might be wondering, okay, what is the catch here? So, from our own tests, and maybe it's just the models that we chose on the panel, but you can see here that it was a lot more expensive to use Fusion, and also it was a lot longer to get the answer. So, if you look, Opus 4.8 completed in 104 seconds, and Fusion finished in 407 seconds. So, it's four times longer. It costs more tokens, and it writes a lot more code, right? You get a lot more in terms of the answers and that sort of thing. So you wouldn't use it for everything. You would save Fusion for when you need a big task completed at the quality required. So let me bring it all home because the Fable 5 ban and Fusion are really telling you the same thing. The old way was like you find the best model, you wire your whole business to it, you never look back. One brain, one provider, one bet. Right? This week showed you exactly what's wrong with that. So, these models were pulled. You don't have control over that. Every change in the world can impact you. And so the new way is like you stop using just one model. You become the router. You send your important questions to many models at once, and you let a judge sort it all out. And when one goes down, the others carry it. When a new, better model drops, you can bolt it on and get stronger. And that's the shift. It's from using one model to having multiple working together and getting the best answers possible. Now, some people want to say, this is moving way too fast, like the best model just got moved, etc. And I hear that all the time, right? Here's the truth: you don't need to track every single model. You just need one idea. So don't depend on one model. A simple setup that lets you swap them in and out without anything breaking. That's the whole game now. Not like chasing every single release. So having a setup that absorbs the chaos, and that's exactly why I built the agent operating system the way I did. When Fable 5 got pulled this week, people with everything wired to one model panicked. People with a panel just shrugged and kept working. That's the difference right here. And that's what I want for you. So inside the AI profitable, you get that full system. You get the agent operating system with Fusion already wired in, the exact research, fact check workflows I showed you ready to run, the Obsidian memory setup so your AI knows your business, and a 30-day roadmap and the zip file to build your own. And every time I improve the agent operating system, you get the new version. Plus, you get 4 coaching calls a week where we can wire it up together, and 3,600 business owners building right alongside you. So someone's always online at any hour whenever you need help. So, when you're ready to really build something that doesn't matter about the model. You can get the best intelligence possible. This is how you can do it, right? The best AI model on the market just got pulled by the government 3 days after it launched, but you can still reach that level of intelligence today with a panel of cheaper models that beat it on research for half the cost and catch their mistakes along the way. So here's what to do next. I would just, you know, pick one important question or project you're working on, something where, being wrong is actually a big, big problem. Then run it through Fusion, watch the panel work, see for yourself that you don't need like Fable 5 to get the best results, and then stop relying on one model, right? Not after this week. You want to start implementing this right now. All right. Thanks for watching. How to rank number one on Google using Claude and Hermes agent operating systems. That's what this is about. And by the end, you'll see exactly how one person with a team of agents can rank six websites at the same time without a team, without an agency, without a single blog post by hand. So let me show you the numbers first, then I'll show you the machine. So you can see here, for example, we have multiple different websites ranking with this system. And if we actually zoom in, you can see the results for both the AIprofitbottom.com and another website that we have right here. And I'll show you the machine in a second, but basically I've won six websites, one person at the wheel with an operating system, and we've reached 122,000 Google impressions in the last 9 days, 4,300 clicks pulled in, and that's a read straight from Google Search Console pulled this morning, right? Now, here's a question you probably ask him, which is, how does one person run SEO across six websites? Because most people can barely keep one blog going. They write a post, they wait 3 months, they get nothing, and they quit. And I'm going to show you exactly what we're doing using something I call the rank machine, right? This is a powerful system for ranking your website with AI SEO. And here's a simple way to picture it, right? It's one machine with three gears. So you can feed it a keyword on one end, rankings come out the other end, and that's it. So you find the keyword, you make the content, you get the backlinks, three jobs with one single machine. And the whole thing runs inside our agent operating system. So this is a powerful SEO system that we've created with Claude Hermes Agent OS sharing one single brain. So it has a second brain here for actually pulling in information about us. Now you might say, okay, why those two? Well, because it matters, right? Claude is the smartest agent for the hard thinking. It can read long documents and figure stuff out. Hermes is the agent with memory, so it can remember your business across every session and build skills it reuses. You can put them in one dashboard like we've done, give them one shared memory, and you get a team that's working 24/7 and never forgets who you are. So let me walk you through the three gears of this whole process. And stay with me here because gear number three is probably the one almost nobody gets right. And it's the one that actually pushes you to page one. So gear number one is the keywords. Finding the ones that you can actually win. And here's the thing, like everybody gets wrong. Usually you open a Ahrefs or SEMrush, you sort by search volume, and you go chase the biggest keyword you can find. So does everyone else. You write a post, you land on page 8, and you give up, right? That's what most people do. And so the keyword gear flips that because it plugs your whole business written down inside Obsidian into, a simple note-taking app into Hermes Agent and all your other AI agents. And so it can pull your actual Google data, right? It can answer the only question that matters, which is given what your site's already ranked for, what's the fastest wins here? So let me show you what this looks like. As you can see right here, we could say, for example, okay, based on what keywords you're ranking for, what can we go for next? And then it would just tell you based on what you're already ranking for. Now, the way that I've done this is connect Google Workspace to Hermes Agent. So if I say, okay, based on my keywords, what could I rank for next? In my Obsidian Vault. And so it can find the keywords you can actually win with, right? And this means you're not just using the same keywords that all of your competitors are using on the same tool. You can actually look at your Google Search Console data and then answer the questions that actually matter, right? And you can see an example of that working with Hermes here. Now, you can also look at your existing keyword data and say, okay, we need to re-optimize for these keywords or those keywords, etc. Now you might wonder, okay, how does this work? Well, it only works because the agent can read everything. It's got my access to my whole Obsidian vault. So it knows, okay, what do we do? Who do we serve? Who do we work with? My office, my notes, right? And that's all connected to Hermes as a shared memory. I call it the memory galaxy. So I can see everything that's organized in one place and I can just come back to it later. So you can see an example of this in action. And by the way, these are the keywords that we're ranking for. So it says like, here's recommendations. And this is inside our memory galaxy. So it just gives it a lot of context to your agents. And your agents can see, okay, here's what you're already ranking for. Here's what you should go for next. Now you might say, okay, why not just use a normal keyword research tool? Well, a normal keyword tool doesn't know your business, right? This system does because it reads your Obsidian Vault. So it doesn't say like go rank for this random generic keyword. It says you already ranked for this. Okay, let's go for something similar to that next time. Also, you might say, well, I'm not technical. I can't pull like the Google Search Console data. You don't actually touch any of it. You just type in one line. So, for example, what keywords should we go after? And the agent can read your vault, your data, your Google Search Console, and go from there. Next up, content, right? So content and how you can turn one keyword into a video and a blog post. So once the keyword gear hands you a winner, the content gear takes over. And this isn't just like one agent, this is a team of agents working together to build something amazing, as you can see. Now, this basically a whole crew of Hermes agents living on one shared board. So you have a writer, you have a video agent, etc., working inside your agent operating system. So we have the Kanban section here, and we can have our agents working side by side. And the cool thing about this is we could have a writer, a video agent, an editor, and a judge that checks the work. So you hand the crew a keyword, it hands you back finished content. And here's the unfair part, right? Video, right? Most people are writing a blog post, they never make a matching video. It's too much work. The content crew can actually make both. So they could make a real video with an AI avatar. They could edit it, put it all together, and then whilst that's getting put together, you've got the writing agents creating the blog posts, which you have that inside this section over here. So we can deploy pages directly to our website just from the keyword and the case study we plug in. And that same piece, that unique article across each website is plugged in across sites, right? So we actually can deploy this content to multiple sites at the same time, just in one click, which is pretty insane when you think about it. So you can plug in one keyword, you get unique content across every platform, and then you can watch it move across the board, right? Draft, built, shipped. Now, if you're thinking, this sounds powerful, but you have no idea how to wire it up, that's the whole point of the Profit Boardroom. So inside, we've built a 30-day roadmap just for this keyword gear, how to plug your business into Obsidian, how to connect Hermes, how to get your Google Search Console data. We've also got weekly coaching calls where we can sit down together and you can wire it up with us. And we have 3,600 business owners building this exact machine alongside you, right? A lot of them doing SEO right now or some sort of automation. Link in the comments description, or go to the aiprofitboom.com to get access. Now, you might think as well, like, why is the agent operating system good at all of this? Because the crew reads the same notes the keyword gear did. So the content isn't like generic, it's in your voice about your keyword aimed at your sites and your brands. Because they're separate agents on one board, they can run at the same time. So one can write whilst another builds, whilst another edits, and you stop being the bottleneck between a good idea and a published page. So, for example, you can see that we've plugged in a keyword like this, and then we can start ranking for that keyword across whatever we want to rank for. So here's our keyword, here's the pages we've deployed, and that's good to go with just a keyword here. If you want to see another example, so we have a video agent plugged in here, and we have the Kanban board with a separate board for agents that can create videos together, and they can just work as a team, creating awesome stuff. Now, here's something that I hear all the time, which is like, AI content sounds generic. It's not going to be very good for SEO. Generic AI content definitely sounds the same. The agents don't write generic though. So they're pulling from your Obsidian memory galaxy, which makes everything totally different. So this is how you get unique content from your real notes, because they're looking at your stories, they're looking at your numbers, your angle, and you pair every post with a video, which almost nobody bothers to do. And that combination is exactly why we're doing so well with AI SEO. Now, the final step of this is the actual setup for creating the backlinks. And this is the gear that I personally know best. I've written a book on link building, and it's a gear most people get completely wrong because outreach is difficult normally, right? You have to find the right person. You have to write an email, follow up, do it 100 times, right? Nobody keeps that up by hand. They might send an emails and then just give up afterwards. That's very common. Now, what we actually have built in to the agent operating system is a backlink agent. So it's a Hermes outreach agent. You can give it a target list. It finds a contact. It can write a personal email pulled from your notes. So it's unique and it's interesting. It's actually useful. And it sends it from your inbox. I actually created a separate inbox for our outreach agents. And you can see an example of the plan that it created right here. All right. So we said we want to build backlinks to this page. It's like, sure, here's what we're going to do today. Here's the plan. Here's how you can check the plan. And it just comes back and actually goes off, right? So it can follow up. And you might say, okay, well, why is outreach useful for this? Well, everything depends on personalization when you're doing outreach. And so personalization needs context. Now, the backlink agent has the same notes the other two gears use. So every email knows what you do, who you are, and why. A link to your page actually helps the person you're emailing. And that's link building, kind of like an agency. But the thing is, it's all automated by an agent. And this is real outreach. This is personalized, useful outreach done at the right scale to get the best results. So that's the full setup, right? Find, make, link. But here's the actual secret, the thing nobody else has. All three gears turn on one shared brain. The keyword agent, the content crew, and the outreach agent all read the same notes from Obsidian. So your business written down once, plugged into the agent operating system. This is why it isn't just like three random tools bolted together. It's one machine that knows who you are. Because they share that brain, the work improves every time. A keyword becomes content. The content becomes a backlink. Each gear feeds the next. So you make the calls, the agents do the grinding, all the hard work, and you just go from there. And that's how we've got results for our AI agents so far. Now, some people want to say SEO is, it doesn't work, or is nobody does SEO, or SEO is too hard these days. These are two different websites that we created already ranking, right? And so search didn't, SEO is still there. It's just moved. So you got Google, you got Perplexity, you got the AI answer box. They all pull their answers from pages that rank. And that's how you get traffic and results like we're seeing here. Now, if people say, well, I need an agency to run SEO like this. But I personally run 6 sites with agents, not people. So the team is a machine, and one person creating a great system is going to outperform like a whole team because you've got something more efficient. Now, if you like learning about this sort of stuff, we've actually got a free course, link in the comments description, or go to this SEO course. You see, we've got 260 lessons on how to do SEO. It's just a free course if you want to learn more stuff about this. And the thing I would say here is like you don't have to do all of this at once. You could just implement one part of this system and then just go from there, right? Start step by step. Go try it, see what you think, and then you can build on top of it later and keep building out each step. So, for example, if you've got no time to write, then building out a team of agents that can create content is great, right? If you have a lot of content, but it's not ranking, then create the backlink agent. And if you want the whole machine wired and ready, the keyword agent, the content crew, and the backlink agent all in one dashboard, sharing one memory, that's what we've built inside the AI Profit Boardroom. So you get the agent operating system as a zip file. You can plug straight in every profile, every prompt, every config, the exact keyword workflow, and the setup that I've talked about today, the content crew that ships across your sites, the Obsidian memory setup. So every agent knows you and your business, and the part most people need most, which is actually the coaching. So you get 4 coaching calls every week plus a roadmap you can follow day by day, daily tutorials, and 3,600 business owners who are using systems like this that you can connect with. So you can get the full agent operating system inside the classroom right here. We keep updating it daily. Link in the comments description, or go to the aiprofitboardroom.com. And if you want a free one-to-one SEO strategy session where we actually look at your website, look at how to rank, you'll discover the secrets to link building, we'll answer any questions you have one-to-one, and you'll learn the best strategies for your website, plus how to grow your SEO traffic based on what's working for us. You can get that at goldie.agency, link in the comments description. And that is the rank machine, right? And it shows you how to build every step of SEO that actually matters and how it's working for our websites. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye-bye. Let's see what questions we got here. Which one do you need? Hopefully. I'm expecting it to come back soon, but who knows? There we go. Th- what do you mean, sorry? I would expect Fable 5 to be back this week. Let's see, but I would expect it to come back soon. GLM 5.2 versus Quen 3.7 versus Claude Opus 4.8. I put all three head to head, same five tasks, one shot each, no second chances, and the results flipped everything I thought I knew about picking an AI. So here's the part that gets me. The model that wins on paper, the best one with the best scores, came in last when I actually used it, and the one that looked the best, that actually shipped with no official scores at all. So if you've been sitting there trying to figure out which AI to actually use for your business, and you keep seeing these big benchmark charts that say, something different every single time, well, we're going to look at what performs the best out of Quen GLM 5.2 and Claude Opus 4.8. Now, these three are the top AR models right now. GLM 5.2 is from a Chinese company called Zhepu ZAI on their ZAI coding plan. Then you got Quen 3.7 Max from Alibaba and Claude Opus 4.8 from Anthropic. Now, I ran all three through the same jobs, and we'll start this off. So, the first job that we gave it here was a sort of voxel runner game. So we've got GLM 5.2 over here, Quen 3.7, and Opus 4.8. So this is the one from Quen 3.2, sorry, from GLM 5.2. As you can see here, it's a lot of fun, pretty interesting game, pretty cool, and a lot of fun to play. If we look at this one from Quen 3.7, this is Quen 3.7 Max, by the way, and you can see here that it's quite boring to play with, right? I mean, look at that. It's kind of buggy, but it does the job. It does the job. Then we have Claude Opus 4.8, and look how basic that is. That is not so much fun at all. So on the first coding test here, we can see clearly the GLM 5.2 is winning, and Quen 3.7 comes in second. Next up, we have the inner system orbit map. And actually, if you look at all three of these, undeniably, Opus 4.8 wins this, right? It's doing the best job here. And it's done something amazing, as you can see. And we can change the speed, we can change the rotations, etc. This one is okay. This one is pretty bad. Now, you can like zoom in and it looks better and that sort of thing. But on the outside, doesn't look that great. I mean, it's kind of cool to play with, but I think out of all of these, Claude Opus 4.8 absolutely nailed it. Now we've got the liquid in a bowl test. So we have Quen 3.7 over here, GLM 5.2, and Opus 4.8. Now, if you look at these, I mean, this is kind of a boring test, but you can see here the animation from GLM 5.2 is really nice. Like, we can change this, we can change the theme. It's pretty cool to play with. If we have a look at, for example, the one from Quen 3.7 Max, not quite as fun. It just kind of, fades out very quickly. Then if we have a look at the one from Opus 4.8, look how boring that is compared to what GLM 5.2 created. This is way better, way more fun, way more interesting. And that's what we want, really. So on test 3 and 1, GLM 5.2 won. And then on test number 2, which is the Galaxy Orbit, you can see the Opus 4.8 won. Then we've got the landing page test. So this is useful if you're checking, for example, if it's actually creating something useful for business. So creating a website. Now let's have a look at this. This is Opus 4.8, super basic, super boring, not much to it at all, not that interesting. If we have a look at Quen 3.7, it's okay. I mean, this is kind of weird because there's nothing here, right? It's kind of just like a empty canvas, but the rest of it was okay. Then if we have a look at GLM 5.2, if we scroll down, it's got some nice animations. There's a lot more to the page, nicely but cleanly as well set up. And I even like the animations on the page. It looks super nice. And you see how it's actually filled in the canvas, whereas, for example, Quen 3.7 didn't do anything, and the one from Opus 4.8 super boring. So that's the difference. This one, the landing page test as well. Then we have the arcade game. So this is pretty cool, pretty fun from Quen 3.7. But the only issue is, you see how the ball doesn't actually bounce off the walls? Like, it just disappears completely. If we have a look at Opus 4.8, this has built something better that is more playable and more useful. And then if we have a look at GLM 5.2 here, look how cool this is. This is way more fun and interesting. And so GLM 5.2 won on pretty much all of the tests there, apart from one, which is mind blowing in itself. And so, in terms of the actual tests that I've run here, I would say the GLM 5.2, which is a new model from ZAI, is actually beating Opus 4.8 and definitely beating Quen 3.7 Max. Now, if we actually have a look at the benchmarks here, Quen 3.7 Max is the strongest of all three. You know, Alibaba reports 80.4% on SW bench verified. We don't have the benchmarks. We only have GLM 5.1 benchmarks, so it's not really that useful. But if we're comparing side by side Quen versus Claude, well, it's actually beating Opus 4.7 on agentic coding. However, one thing to note here is the Opus 4.8 was so new when Quen 3.7 Max came out that they didn't include Opus 4.8 on their benchmarks as well. So pretty interesting. For me personally, do I really pay much attention to benchmarks? No, I just test stuff in reality because, you know, it just how can you believe in the test run by the company that owns it? And also, do benchmarks from my experience always translate into what you see in reality? No. So there's a big difference here. But the main thing I would say is like, you know, China's GLM 5.2 so far has been really, really good. And if we have a look inside the agent operating system too, we can check the workspace and see what we've built out here. And we created some awesome stuff, as you can see here too. I mean, this is like a full open world game. This is another one, kind of like a Skyrim style RPG. This was a fun one too, as you can see here. Right? And this was all created using GLM 5.2. So it's a pretty powerful model. And the other thing I would say here is like you can actually plug Quen 3.7 Max directly into Hermes Agent, and you can do that with GLM 5.2 as well in the coding plan. But you can't actually do that with Claude. So Claude doesn't allow your subscription to plug into your agents. Whereas, for example, we can create separate profiles for GLM 5.2, for Quen 3.7 Max, and for using Kimi K2.7, which is another model. So when you're on these coding plans, you can easily swap them in and out of your agents, which I think is super useful in itself as well. The other thing I would say here is like when I've been using Hermes with GLM 5.2, it seems super slow to reply. Quen 3.7 Max does seem a lot faster. And also, if you look at the quality responses here, so we asked GLM 5.2 to take a look at our Obsidian memory. It wasn't as useful as when we actually got the answer back from Quen 3.7. Quen 3.7 actually reviewed all of our notes, looked at what we were ranking for, and then gave us some great SEO keyword research. When you check GLM 5.2, it is super brief and not as useful. So it's pretty interesting to see, like, okay, if I'm using AI agents like Hermes, I might not use GLM 5.2, but if I'm coding directly inside the CLI, for sure I'm going to use GLM 5.2 or Kimi K2.7. Right? These are great models that have created some awesome stuff. So it depends how you're going to use it as well. And another thing to note here is we actually got a team of video agents to work together. And again, you can't really do this with Claude unless you go to Claude directly. But with Hermes, you can easily get them to work together and then create some awesome stuff. So if we go to the Kanban board here, we got a team of agents to work on some videos and fully create it from scratch. And then if we open this up, this is the finished video, as you can see, and this is fully AI generated. I just gave it the prompt, and then we had the judge tell them to iterate and keep going until it was finally done. But yeah, again, pretty powerful model for having your AI agents work together. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to get my full agent operating system with everything plugged in, and we have multiple models, so we have all of these working together, all three coders in one place. And I would recommend that for you because then you get the best out of all of these models depending on their strengths. So if we're actually coding on the back end, like I tend to find that Claude is better for just pulling them all together and orchestrating them. If I'm trying to create something really awesome and cool in terms of like an actual coding project, like you saw with the games that we created, then I'll probably go to GLM 5.2. But the main thing is you want all of them in one place. And so if you want one dashboard, we've actually got the H and operating system with one dashboard, one workspace. You can preview everything live. You can see it built. You can see them all working together with the memory system, the memory galaxy we've got with Obsidian. And that's all inside the AI Profitable Boardroom. Link in the comments description or go to the AIProfitable.com. Inside the community, you can ask questions. Inside the classroom, you get access to all my best lessons. Inside the calendar, you can jump on weekly coaching calls. Hope to see you inside. Cheers for watching. Bye bye. All right. Cheers for everyone for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.